Hi, Scott Laritz here, head golf professional at Royal Oaks Country Club in Vancouver, Washington. Wanted to talk to you today about what I consider to be the three fundamentals of the full swing that all great ball strikers over the history of time have possessed, and it's probably none of the fundamentals that you've heard of before. So number one would be they all hit the ball far enough to play the golf course. Number two, they all hit the ground in the same spot every time. And number three, they're able to control the curve of the ball. So let's first talk about fundamental number two, which would be hitting the ground in the same spot every time. So understanding what controls hitting the ground in the same spot every time, let's first talk about your weight distribution, not only in the setup but at the point of contact. So being a right-handed golfer, I'm going to illustrate this with a stick on the ground being where the ball is located when I hit it. So what would control the point where you hit the ground would be the weight being more forward versus back, okay? And just to let you know, the best ball strikers all hit the ground somewhat forward of the ball that they're hitting, okay? So that would be the low point. So if I wanted to hit the ground the farthest behind the ball, I would have my weight the most back and the handle the most back. If I wanted to hit the ground the most forward, I would have my weight the most forward and the handle the most forward, okay? So a great way to help you learn this as a drill would be to start off, I've got a pitching wedge in my hand here, and I'd have the handle forward, weight forward, and I would just start off and hit some small little shots, trying to get the feel of the divot being forward of the line, okay? And so obviously, once you get good at hitting some shots with the weight forward, handle forward, small swings, trying to control that low point, then you can work your way up into longer swings. Now, question I often get asked is, well, that's great with your pitching wedge, but how does that change with all the other clubs? So it doesn't change. So anytime the ball's on the ground, your low point is going to be somewhat forward of the ball that you're hitting, regardless of ball position. It's only when we have driver in our hands would the low point be slightly more forward, okay? So when we're hitting the ball with a driver, we want to catch it slightly on the upswing, okay? So that's fundamental number two. Fundamental number three, which would be controlling the curve, which we've talked about before, is basically just try to remember where the ball starts is primarily controlled by where the club face is pointed relative to the target at impact, and where the ball curves to is predicated by the path of your golf swing, okay? So I hope that helps you. If you have any other questions, please see one of the golf professionals here at Royal Oaks.